Good morning, everybody. It is March. What is it? I think it says March the 30th, but it feels like an awful lot longer than that. I saw a funny meme that said today is March the 97th, and it certainly feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like March is never ending. Part of that, I think, is because when things get this strange, we tend to lose track of time, but I can tell you definitely with great certainty what it is. It's Roman Soldier Day. Yeah, we're going to learn a little bit about Roman soldiers today. Primarily soldiers during the period of the Five Good Emperors. So that's that. Remember, that's that time from around 96 AD all the way through till about 200 AD. When we think of Rome, that is sort of the peak of Roman imperial culture, power, and expanse. Things were working really pretty good. They stayed working well. It was stable. And people were successful. Now, I don't have all of the props that I wish I had for Rome. They're pretty expensive. I buy stuff over time. I mean, I have some stuff, because you're going to see some armor. You're going to see a helmet. You're going to see some weapons that your typical Roman soldier would have had. This is actually Roman Soldier Week, I should say, not just a day. Today's video is going to just be a soldier and his typical gear. It's a really good video. We're going to learn a little bit about how Roman soldiers fought, why they were so effective, and we're going to learn one or two things about their exploits, their successes. Next week, we're going to focus on the barbarian invasions that came in at the end of the Roman Empire and why the Romans were no longer able to really fend off those dangerous opponents. Because during the reign of the Five Good Emperors, there was nobody that the Roman army couldn't defeat in combat. Even at that point, Parthia was an empire that couldn't have resisted if the Romans really wanted to go after them. So what do I have here? I collect axes. So I've got a lot of different axes. I've got this. This is a replica of a small Viking-style hand axe. Really cool. It's nice. Fits my hand well. It's pretty easy to swing. It's actually somewhat useful. It's a usable item. They wouldn't have painted it black, of course. It would have just been iron. But I wasn't going to spend a huge amount of money getting it. I then have a bearded axe. This is a bit larger. This is more of a hand and a half. I mean, it is made for one hand. You can hike up on it. But you can swing it with two hands as well. Bearded as in it has a very thin piece here. And it comes down. That's a good one. Quite like that one. All of you have seen this. My old Warhammer. You know this one. This is going to be good. We'll talk more about this one when we get to the Middle Ages. As will we talk about those axes, because that's where those axes really come from. So yeah, this is a good one. My favorite axe, though, would be this one. This one here is a two-handed axe. This is a lot of fun. See, it's about 48 inches long. It is the proper size and configuration for a Danish hand axe. It was almost like an early polearm, because you could poke people with this piece, you could hook a shield with this piece, you could hammer people with this piece, and of course, you could chop them with this piece here. And it was a very effective weapon in its own way, although it didn't last that long, which tells you that it isn't really a weapon that... It probably had problems. It had issues. There had to be a reason why they didn't, continue to use it. And we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about why did the Romans use the weapons that they used? Why do different cultures use those different weapons? We definitely talked about it during the Greek unit, and we're going to continue that conversation with these. So when you watch the video on our Google page, we will talk about, I'll have a couple questions for you. I encourage you continue to use the Google Classroom. There'll be a post connected to this, and you're going to want to, in the comments, answer the questions that I ask you. Pay close attention to the things that this guy has. You may see a sponge on a stick, and we'll get deeper into that. So, as always, have a great day. Spend about 2 hours on your schoolwork. Make sure you're reading plenty. Engage with MobyMax if you can. Do a little bit of Read 180 if that's something that's available to you. And as always, stay home, stay distant, love your friends and neighbors. Bye-bye.